I'm choosing to fail so that you can succeed. The title should be pretty honest, but let me explain what that means if you clicked on it. So this is my first video on this channel because I have decided to run an experiment. We like experimenting around here after all, and this experiment involves splitting up my previous channel into the solo player Let's Play series that I'm going to be doing over here, which is what you can expect going forwards, but also videos like this, because if you clicked on this video, you might like these kind of videos too, where there's a conversation to be had with some gameplay in the background. That will then also be something that will be part of this channel as well. But the idea is I've been on YouTube as a whole across multiple channels now for nearly 16 years. Yeah, and there's certain strategies and things that you hear like the gurus talk about, or you hear people talk about, and you're like, well, I don't want to do that. And not necessarily like because you're better than that, but it sounds like maybe clickbaity, or if you niche down too far, how you can become so bottlenecked it feels like you can't actually do the reasons that you maybe started YouTube. And so for me, doing this and what this title means is I'm willing to run those experiments to see if it works, so that then we can collectively look back on my experience and my channels and go, what did and didn't actually work? So when I say I'm failing so you can succeed, come along on this journey of we're going to be finding out if some of these things work, and then I can share that info with y'all and share my experience with y'all too, and be like, oh, this is what maybe you can actually be doing to help out what you're trying to do. Obviously, spoiler alert, gaming niche is not necessarily the most lucrative niche anymore that it might have been in the 2010s, but it isn't dead either, because you do have people popping up all the time still nonetheless and finding ways to break through. So maybe that's me being a bit, optimistic, which is what I'm going to try to do in this channel as well. But at the same time, what it also means is for someone like you watching this video, even if you don't do gaming, it's still not too late to start YouTube if you want to start YouTube. Now, if you don't want to start YouTube and you want to just watch YouTube, that is completely fine. But your ship hasn't quite sailed. It just might be you might need a different ship though. In the past, galleons and longboats might have been good enough to get started. Where we are now, with how things have been defined, how things have been figured out, you might need a whole entire air carrier, because you're going to need to do a lot of lifting, a lot of traveling, and you're going to need a lot of air support sometimes, That might be what the case is, but it doesn't mean it's impossible. Even the gaming niche, yes, I do doth declare. It does mean we're in a world where you do have to generate curiosity, and stuff like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean you have to clickbait flan. It just means you got to make people curious when they see your thumbnail. Make them want to stop the scroll and actually think about what it is you're presenting, and make them feel invited. That's a thing too that I've struggled on the previous channel, which is staying, by the way. The previous channel is staying. It's just the previous channel is a gaming channel, where it's gaming me doing Let's Plays, and then it's gaming with friends. So it's both. It's all gaming is the underlining thing, but there's technically two different types of gaming on the channel. And it just got to a point where it was like, if someone subscribes off of the gaming with friends stuff, and they really like that, and then I come out with a single player Let's Play, it could feel like a Power Ranger team, where you subscribe for the Power Rangers, and then suddenly you're only getting an episode with like just the Yellow Ranger. And maybe the Yellow Ranger's cool. And sometimes solo episodes can be cool for story and plot, especially in like the older Power Ranger series, right? Like Andros trying to find his sister in space, and Leo always trying to measure up to expectations to his older brother Mike. There's a world where that analogy can still work. Don't get me wrong. But there's also a world where that's all you want more of. You want the next episode, you want more Power Rangers, you want a Megazord fight, you want the teamwork aspect of it would make Kakashi cry. Like, that's what you're really looking for, and then you're suddenly not getting. You will get more in the future, but it's that disconnect that might be something that actually is ultimately hurting. And it's a bit unfortunate, because to get a little deep for a second here, we had a friend in our group that was kind of like the Red Ranger of the group that did pass away not even 2 summers ago at this point. And I never plan on stopping the friendship videos, because now that's one of the only ways we have them. I mean, we have them in our memory, that's how that works too, but that's also one of the only ways we to kind of like see them again, experience them again, is because I used to record so much, gameplay footage with them too. Minecraft, VR chat, one-off games sometimes even, but they were there, so we could still hear their voice from time to time. And so as hopefully more friends don't, drop out sooner than later, at the same time, it's a possibility, and because of that, I want that archive there. Some of those videos aren't meant to go viral. They're just meant to be there for the memory of, that we can look back and laugh years later. But what that does mean is it does create this thing inside the channel of, well, now it's kind of split a bit. Even though it's gaming and it's all gaming and that's like the niche, it's still split. And so it's one of those things where it's like, well, I might as well run this experiment. Because the worst that happens is nothing. I talked about this recently where it's like, all right, we start a new channel and nothing comes of it. Well, nothing came off of not starting the channel either. Or like, you know, if all this stuff gets like 0 views, it also gets 0 views if you never start. So you eventually have to start. And so maybe we won't fail. And so maybe my success will then also be your success. Either my failure will be your success because you'll be able to kind of navigate the landmine and know what not to do, or my success will be your success because I plan on sharing notes basically with y'all is the thing. It's like, you want to stick around, I got y'all covered. But I do want to let you know again, because of that, so videos like this will probably exist going forward if stuff like this is also liked. Like it's like, your voice is actually kind of nice to turn on, you know, in another tab and listen to talk about, you know, things and the whatnots. But also actual Let's Plays, like single player Let's Plays, will also be coming to this channel as well. Now, the reason this is one of the first videos, or my first video, if you will, here, is when you make a new channel, YouTube also needs to kind of figure out what your channel even is, if you're a bot, if you're real, what it is that you're really doing. This was a pretty simplistic, I feel like easy first video to kind of make. So I was like, all right, cool. We could kind of do this kind of idea. I've seen it pop up before. It seems to work out pretty well. And because we can go from there, we can find out like what exactly it is that we want to do. And also I'm down for feedback when I do these Let's Plays, by the way. Part of it is like when you think about the gaming niche, for example, and I'm going to keep on that one because there's not a lot of gurus that I feel properly represent the gaming niche. They give kind of sometimes generic advice because they understand they're a guru that does best if they can get like a wide sweeping audience, you know, help. And that's nothing against them, but like sometimes they don't really narrow down. Even when they make proper gaming videos, it doesn't really narrow down as much as it could. So I say that to say, in my experience so far, for example, oh man, something that makes me click off of a video pretty quick though is when one of them goes, why are you putting your face in the thumbnail? No one knows who you are. And like in the gaming niche, it never was about who you were. And I imagine in other niches too, if you want to comment about that, it's more about like relaying an emotion quickly in the scroll. You see a shocked face, you know something shocking has happened, or a jump scare or something. It was never like, oh, it's me playing this game. It's, oh, this game is scary, or this game is funny, or this game is, you know, XYZ. That's what it's actually about. It always bothers me when I actually go and watch a guru video and I'm like, all right, maybe there's something here I've never heard of or seen before. Why not? Let's watch it. And they have that in there. I'm like, you silly Billy. You do not understand. And that's very clear now. But anyways, I'm bringing all that up only to say that that probably is another niches too, mind you. But you don't have to use your face either. I'm just fine using mine. But it's one of those things, as an example, I'm like, that's what that actually existed all the time. Like Markiplier and Corey Kenshin and Jacksepticeye and all of them, they can use their face to this day if they want. And yeah, there'll be brand recognition to this day, but that's not why they started using their faces like 13, 14, 15 years ago. It's because someone might be watching YouTube on a really small phone screen, and you know it's easier than seeing a bunch of text? Just a face that conveys everything that you want to rather quickly. One of the things I will be exploring on this channel overall is also things like video length, right? You hear all the time, you know, watch time this and analytics that, and it's not that those can't matter. Those can help you figure out what an audience that does click on your video likes and what they might be interested in. Are they interested in not shorts, but still shorter videos? Are they actually more interested in the longer, more, you know, essay video-esque such situations? Are they using you more like a podcast than watching what you're doing? So they do want you to do long videos so they can have it up in the background because, again, your voice might just sound so majestic and so easy on their ears that they want more, even though they're not sure of the more that you're talking about necessarily. Also, making triangles in Minecraft. I'm figuring that out. Speaking of experimentation, I've been figuring that out. How to make like even triangles, and it's a bit of an experience, fun. And that's my point. Ultimately, this is going to be for fun. So if you want to stick around, I welcome you in with open arms. We're here to have fun. You're free to give feedback though. I'm not above criticism. I just ask, however, though, that if you do feel like giving feedback, if you could do me a favor whenever we do these videos, in general, all videos, make sure the feedback is just clear. That's all. What I mean by that is if you just, you know, say click. I don't know. Like, are you saying click because you think it was clickbait? Are you saying click because there's a lot of clicking from my mouse? Because maybe I was playing like a clicker game. Like, what is, you know what I mean? It's just a little confusing. I don't want to call anyone out on that per se, because I understand, you know, comments, you're not necessarily there to have a whole, you know, essay written out either. But I'm just like, that's all. I'm fine with feedback, but if you could maybe just, make sure it's just a little bit clear. It can still be just a few words. It's fine, but now how we do. As for the name of the channel, Gamerson X Game. The reason that is because I was gonna take the name of the other channel and make it this, and then take this channel and make it the other name, because I'm still gonna be Gamerson on all other platforms too. That's not changing. Twitch, Twitter, all of them. But they hold the name for 14 days after you try and change it. So that name would just be in limbo, and I need to get this channel started because for other features and stuff, you gotta start building up history so that YouTube understands, again, that you're not a bot and stuff. So it's like, all right, we'll just make something over here. I was just gonna be Gamerson Game. For those that don't know, with Markiplier, he's actually on his second channel. His first channel, the AdSense got deleted. He can't use it, so he made a second channel, which is the one we all know today. And it's actually the UR Markiplier Game, and not just Markiplier. But, the name you can make, just by itself. So that's how that works. But now I'm like, I might as well throw the X in there, because I do admittedly have a lot of Corey X Kenshin influence at times. And the way he edits, how he's his own editor still, the same way I'm my own editor still, there is influence there. So I think as a nice nod, it would be nice to put that in there for the actual name, even though the actual the profile name is still going to be just Gamerson, which is a combination of the word game and my name, because that's the majority of what I like to do. And at this point, when I work for others and I'm editing videos for others, it's actually all also been gaming videos. So gaming is a huge part, one way or the other, of my life. But I think that's it for this video. We can kind of wrap this one up. It doesn't have to be too terribly long. I can go beyond the 15 minutes. I did unlock the ability to go beyond 15 minutes, but I don't necessarily want to talk your ears off either, but I do want to say again, when it comes to those failures, it could be a variety of things, a variety of analytics and stuff like that. And I hope to be able to then share to you and also the other people watching and stuff like that, things maybe that could be worked around. It's like, oh, actually, you did ramble too much and you never had pauses. It never felt like there was a good time to pause your video to like go grab a snack and come back. It was just yap, 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 yap. In an era where yapping is a thing that some people do seem to watch and like, at the same time, you just did it a bit too much. And it's like, all right, bet, fair, completely fair. And so it's one of those things where it is one of those situations of making a new channel, that feeling of starting from scratch, but not feeling defeated like you have to start over. Also, I never really probably felt that dread of if I had to start over. It would be sucky to lose the other channel, again, because of the friend memories, the friend that we lost, for example. That's where a lot of that stuff is. So like losing that, for example, would suck. Just like take a shot every time I say for example. But at the same time, I do think that this could be a fun experience. And maybe this is what is needed, is to split up the friend videos and the single player videos to see just how that would work, to see if that is something that if an audience subscribed, like if you subscribe, going forward, you're getting videos of me, my personality, games that we're going to try and play. Sometimes they're one-offs because there may be a demo or something, and sometimes they're a whole series, but I will try and bring my best personality to the table because we are entertainers at the end of the day. And that's one thing I want to kind of talk about real quick too, is I think sometimes also in the gaming niche, certain reactions and stuff seem fake, but that's not necessarily that they're fake, but they're leaned into. I will probably like admit, you'll see some people get jump scared, and it's like, how do they get jump scared that badly? And it's because in some cases they're truly terrified. It was a really good jump scare, but in other cases we are entertainers, so our job is to entertain, and we know that's where the entertainment is when getting jump scared. You don't want to see me just kind of like flinch and be like, ah, that's rough, buddy. Or maybe you do. Maybe that's kind of like your brand of comedy. But for the most part, most people, that's why it's called embellishment a little bit, where you're not lying, but you're maybe leaning into it. So think of the last time you maybe got jump scared by something. It was kind of like a flinch. Think of that, and then just imagine just leaning into it a lot more, because you know your audience will find that entertaining, because you're not just a gamer, you're an entertainer, which is why the other channel was called a gaming entertainment channel, usually. But yeah, that's something I want to bring up too, because maybe I can pass that on to you right now. Maybe it's something worth trying if you're in a situation where you do gaming and you do horror indie games and stuff like that, and you're like, well, how can I maybe improve on my personality? Because you probably have a wonderful personality if you clicked on this video. I'm just saying that's a definitive fact. I can't listen. It's not it. I don't make the rules, but I do make the rules entirely. That could be something maybe you could try. Is not faking stuff, maybe just playing up stuff when they do happen, and then see if that reacts negatively or positively to your audience. So that way, if this is the only video of mine you watch, you still clicked on and got something out of it, hopefully, because I have definitely made that a failure in the past, where I'm like, everything's got to be honest. I don't even want to cut out Dead Space. If it takes me 30 minutes to beat a boss, it's all staying in the video. And it's like, honestly, people are actually okay if you want to cut out the 30 minutes of messing up on a boss. As long as you don't fake it and like say cheat, for example, they tend to be all right with that, actually, saving the 30 minutes on that. Stuff like that is things that took me a while to just learn that it was okay to do these things. So that's what I mean by lessons that maybe I could pass on, that then maybe you can already even start right now, and as we go through this channel, take on in the future. Part of what that means is also making sure, as I prepare to get you out of here, that I make sure this is a conversation that you can feel included in, that you don't feel left out by too many inside jokes and stuff like that. Like with the friendship stuff, there's like some of them are in the hundreds of episodes when it comes to the ongoing series. There's inside jokes that probably don't make sense to a new viewer that might have wanted to click because they still were interested. And so I do need to make sure with this channel I do a better job, even if there's a running joke, and so we keep it going, making sure that if you're new to here, you feel that you can still be included and welcomed and along for the ride, just like everybody else, and not feel like you're so behind in a series, like you're coming in on episode 500 and you're just like, I want to know because this interests me, but I don't feel like I'll ever have a place. Now I want to make this a place that you can have a place. So you will have a place here, and I will do a better job of making sure of that going forwards. So yeah, we made an acclimator. We made it again. Side note, it's called an acclimator, but also I made a video on this a long time ago on the other channel. This is a composite, and I want to talk about that word real quick because it relates to the channel. This is a composite of how the acclimator was in multiple forms of media. So not just, the Clone Wars, but also even the PSP game Elite Squadron, where you had the hangar on the bottom like that because you actually used it as your capital ship, and the space battle, because in Elite Squadron, it was a ground battle and space battle at the same time. It was what they were going to do for Battlefront 3, the original Battlefront 3, I should say. And then they broke it up into like a PSP game and stuff like that instead with the assets. So in relation to this channel, you might see different types of stuff, but it should all be gaming related, and it all mainly should be gaming videos. But I'm saying if you see the occasional skit or sketch or something like that, just know it will still be gaming related. And when it comes to the community that we try to foster over here, anyone really is welcome as long as you're civil, you're kind to yourself as well as others of course, but also be kind to yourself. Sometimes days can be a little rough, and sometimes you watching a YouTube video is going to help you veg and unwind, even if it doesn't feel like the most productive thing, and that is okay. But as we go to the conclusion of this video, how are you doing? And if you don't mind, if you made it this far, how did you find this video? Did YouTube recommend it? Were you just watching other, Minecraft-esque video essays-esque videos, and so as such, this was suggested? Did you know me prior and you recognize my name from the other channel, and you're like, okay, what is he doing over here? Isn't that the same person? It's like, yes it is, but kind of like the origin days, it's going to be mainly just me over here, unless there's like an exception, maybe like a charity stream or something like that. But otherwise, for the most part, that's what this is going to be. The other channel is not being deleted. It's not going anywhere. There'll still be more videos in the future. Spoiler alert, there's going to be like a Resonite video at some point, because we went into Resonite, Mechanics did, just to see what it was like to explore it, in conjunction with things like VR chat and stuff. So update on that channel. Yeah, that channel is going to be alive, thriving, and well. But I just made a decision after talking with the video department in Mechanics, the other video editors and stuff, because we have different departments that we work within. And I was like, why don't we run that experiment? And as someone that is like the experiment guy, yeah, I'll run that experiment. But how are you doing? What experiments are you up to? Are you trying that new thing in your life? Maybe perhaps. Are you trying to diet a little bit, whether that's being on a healthy diet or that's actually cutting things out, whichever one that you're going with that definition. But the point is, how are you holding up? How is this year treating you as we go into the second half of 2026? And hopefully it is going to be great. And even if the first half was great, I hope the second half of 2026 is even better. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So until next time, take care and enjoy pizza responsibly. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Also, editing. We'll see how editing goes on this channel. I think this video will probably be very lightly to no editing, but obviously when we do Let's Plays proper, there'll probably be editing and stuff. We mentioned like Corey Kenshin influence, for example, so yeah, we'll see. But thank you for watching. Have a good day.